Didn't I see the Rolling Stone concert in 1965?
Really?
A matinee. I got it for equivalent to $1.75, which would be about 35 baht.
Wow. All right. Welcome to Margaritas in Paradise. Today we're doing another Everybody Has a Story. And I have Gary from Queensland, Australia with me right now. And we have a few questions to ask him and kind of go over and see what his story is here. So, Gary, why don't you start out by just telling me something about you, a little background information about you.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for welcoming me to this interview, and it's my pleasure to help out. I've helped myself. A single man now for many years, no children. I come to live in Thailand most of the time and go home to Australia to visit Queensland, my home, and mainly to see my brother, my nieces, a few good old friends. And just now I'm retired and just living a relaxing life. That's about it, just casually living. Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. So you're happy here?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Like when I was at home, I was a little bit lost, no single friends, and here I've made friends and a little bit into that entertainment, go out to nice restaurants, and yeah, it's basically it's quite a good life here. Yes.
All right. Do you love Thailand?
Oh, I certainly do.
You know, I love Thailand. So, and what were you doing before you moved to Thailand?
I used to come here a couple of times a year for a holiday for a month or so when I was still in working. But at that time, I was basically work was mainly my life all the time. Going out for a few dinners and casually staying by myself most of the time. So I worked in on construction building sites. I was temporary maintenance teacher for young guys doing a 4-year apprenticeship. I was the service manager in the company, and basically just my life was mainly at work at home, and coming here, it's like a new lease of life, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of like, I hate to use this term, but it's kind of like being reborn. You get a life reset.
Yeah.
What made you move to Pattaya?
First of all, I'd been to, first time I come to Thailand was about, how many, that's 43 years ago or something.
Wow.
I went around Europe with a mate in a camper van, VW camp, for 9 months, and we stopped in Bangkok for 4 days, and I thought, this is an interesting place. And then married, I come over here a couple of times for holidays, and then after being divorced, well, your whole life changes, you know, like, because you're usually in couple scenes and everything. But then after that, I come here for a holiday with a mate, and then after every 6 months, I decided to come over here. A couple of people I used to work come and basically go. I was enjoying myself more here than what my spare time was in holiday in Australia, whether I went on holidays or something. Basically,
you know, I hear that all the time.
Yeah,
I hear that all the time. And so that was like 1980 time frame?
I think I was in Bangkok about February of 1978.
Wow.
Yeah. It was only 4 days.
Right.
But it was enough to get me interested.
Sure. Yeah. So I can't imagine. You hear all the time, we miss the good times, you know. It's not like it was before, but I think you were here when it was like it was before.
Yes.
You know, so you got to see all the best of the
Thailand. Well, when I come for that 4 days on the way home from Europe, it was just, we went to the buffalo show, and the mongoose come out with the big snake, and they attacked each other, and me being the hero jumped up on the chair, you know, because I was bloody frightened, and we just just went down the Thai boxing, ringside seat to Thai boxing. Basically had just a bit of a look around in 4 days, and but the good thing about February was still the cool weather. I wasn't really prepared for the hot weather like Songkran.
Yeah. When you're talking about weather, how did you climatize? Have you climatized to the weather here? Or?
Oh no, I haven't. Like Songkran, I stay in my room to 6 o'clock at night with videos and movies and aircon.
Sure.
And I go out when it's a little bit cooler.
Right.
Yeah, but during the day, I find that extremely hot here. You know, it's around Songkran. But it's still warm at the moment too.
Oh yeah. There's no doubt about it. How long have you lived here then?
Oh well, after retired, that was in 2015. I retired, and well, I wasn't too sure what to do, and because I knew I was always going to come here for holidays.
Sure.
And a mate said to me, "Why don't you just come over here and because I finished staying in the hotel, just get a condo for 3 months, 4 months, and just see how you like it." And he said, "I'm living down Nuclear," so that's where I went. A mate had said to me, "Why don't you just come to Pattaya?" I said, "No, I've heard I don't like it." He goes, "Just try it." So I was over here for the 6 weeks the first time before I actually retired here, and I was only going to come here 4 days. And I changed my flight ticket to Phuket 5 times, and I never went there, and I stayed here, and I found it was so easy for me here, you know.
Oh yeah. Do you miss Australia?
No.
Not really.
Look, I'll go home for 6 weeks, a month, a little bit of time every year, and like video. On your
you go home a couple times a year,
Yeah. And the video, I get to see my brother, my nieces, and a couple of really good friends. It's like we're sitting here now with the cameras now on the phone.
Yeah, the way technology is. It's
so that's what I mean. And tell you the truth, with a friend or something like that, I'll ring them up and say, "You want to have lunch?" I understand they're busy.
Sure.
So, and I thought, well, do I want to live like that when I'm playing second fiddle all the time, or do I want to come over here and say, "I'm the man"?
Right. We're in our retirement year.
Yeah.
And to be busy right now is ridiculous. We need to be able to sit back and do whatever we want.
It is quite important to have a couple of good friends, good acquaintances, good friends, and more enjoyable friends the company you like to be with.
Right. Have you hit any hurdles or have any struggles with living here in Pattaya?
It's just a communication sometimes, but I think you get over that. You've got other few foreigner friends here that they've dealt in, so but you lean on them a little bit. What do you recommend here?
Sure.
And that helps you.
Dog or cat?
Dog. As a boy, I always had a dog.
Yeah.
My sister had cats. I used to find cats amusing. I used to get paper bags to watch the kittens play in the cat, but the dog was my favourite. They always come to you when they love you. A cat only comes to you when it's hungry. Yeah.
Do you need a car or a motorbike while living here in Thailand?
I have been thinking about buying a car.
Right.
At the moment, my lifestyle is just basically going to restaurants and a bar, have a drink, all like pretty close vicinity. Look, if I really wanted, I like the idea of Thailand has so many beautiful places.
Right.
You really only go over to Phuket and stuff on that. That's by taxi and then a plane. But if I wanted to drive up north, like you've told me that your places that you've been to, and it sounds really interesting.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think it'd be good to have a car.
So you've adjusted well, not having your own transportation.
I have adjusted, and matter of fact, if I had a car here, I probably wouldn't use it all that much, Tom. And
do you use any of the apps for getting a taxi?
Yeah, mainly Bolt.
There's a link in the description below for the Bolt app if anybody's interested in that. But living here in Thailand, I get a lot of questions on my YouTube channel about medical insurance. What do you think? Does somebody need medical insurance while living here?
Yeah, I think you do. Like I've got mine from home, and I still have it. That when if I'm over here, I I have to pay the bill, and when I go to home,
Sure.
I put in a tab for it, get reimbursed. And
if somebody's coming here and considering moving here permanently, that they should have some type of medical insurance?
I think so, Tom.
Yeah. Do you use any of the local clinics around here?
Yeah, Loma Clinic.
Loma?
Actually, I was up there yesterday. The nail, I don't know what I did, the corner, I pulled it off, and only a little bit, but then it got infected.
Right.
And for a week, I haven't been able to touch it.
Sure.
And so, and I've got a little bit problem with my hips, so I've had acupuncture up
Doing
there
acupuncture?
Too. Yeah, and they not only do that, they had this box with put electric jars into me. That's a couple of times I've come out of that feeling a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. What price wise are they comparable to back in Queensland?
That cost me 400 baht for a session, say 45 minutes.
Right.
But the tablets I got for that, I thought that was expensive, was 750 baht.
Right.
That's expensive.
Now, did that include the office visit, or?
Oh, they say the office visit's only about like 50 or 100 baht, but they whack for the tablets.
The meds,
yeah. They really whack that up.
So they put you on a antibiotic.
Yeah. And, like sometimes I've been in there and it's only cost me $150 baht, and this time it's $750. It depends on what it is.
Right. So you used any of the hospitals here or anything like that?
One time I got food poisoning and I was really sick, nearly 10 days. And I went in there and they put me on the drip for the afternoon.
Right.
And
all right. So what do you think, Ford or Toyota?
I'd probably go Toyota here.
Toyota. All right. Yeah. How do we transfer money from our home country to Thailand? Do you have any advice for that?
No, with me, I've got every two weeks I I usually take 20,000 baht out at a time.
So do you use an ATM card or is it an app or what?
Yeah, just like an ATM card.
Okay. Yeah. So you just take large sums out at a time.
Usually I take 20,000 baht out.
Right.
And that I don't know, that might last me nearly 2 weeks or something.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty good. So with that in mind, do you live by a pretty strict budget, or
no?
Or you just spend money left and right?
Yeah, but sometimes I'm a little bit cautious with it too.
Right. What type of visa you have?
A retirement visa.
A retirement visa?
Yeah.
Now, is that something you handle yourself or do you use an agent?
No, I do it.
Is there any advice you would give somebody considering coming here and doing the same thing that you're doing?
Yes. Come for a 3-month holiday, book into a condo. I'd help you find out friends there. Book into a condo, live here. Do you want to do your own cooking? Do you go to the market, buy stuff? Do you eat out, which is cheap, really cheap?
Right.
And just to see if you can adapt to it. You know,
test the water.
If this is what you want.
Right.
Yeah, but I think most important, don't just move here.
Right.
Come and try. I think 3 months gives you a bit of an idea. Well, 3 months is still a holiday to me.
Well, sure.
Go home again, see how you miss it, come back for another 3 months, and then I think you pretty know what you really want.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Very good idea.
Sure, yeah.
As far as cost of living here in Thailand is concerned,
it all depends on the individual, what they like. Look, I know if you go to the bars and you drink a little bit and buying drinks and trying to be friendly to people and buying drink, it costs you a lot more. But if you're not a drinker, like a friend of mine, he goes to bed at 9 o'clock every night, and I think I don't know, I don't think he just doesn't like drinking in bars and stuff. So he's he loves his cooking. So really, his most expenditure is going to the market and buying foods and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
But then again, that's what different. There's horses for courses, and that's what he likes.
Right.
Me and you, it's not our style.
Right. Exactly. So, Beer or wine?
Wine, I think,
Wine. Okay.
I have a few beers, not as much as I used to, but I like a nice wine.
So, do you have any recommendations as far as accommodations here?
I think if you're going to live in here, live in a condominium rather than a hotel.
Okay.
Well, a friend of mine, he's coming on Tuesday, and he's just booked in for a month at John TM, and he's paying about $477 for about a month, 4 weeks, and that's probably about 10,000 baht or less, And included in that is his electricity and his and the room service in the condo.
Okay. How did somebody come up with a decision of where to live, really?
Just basically try a different, where you're happy,
Right.
Luckily, I'm happy over here. John TM over there, I've looked at it, it's not, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right for me, although it's got lovely restaurants, I've heard.
Sure.
But just down here, I like down here for out when you're not going out up the street for a little bit of action, a bit of a play and stuff like that. Down here, it's really quiet around here, Tom.
Sure.
And so that's what I like. That when I want to relax, when I want to rest, I've got my quiet time.
Yeah, I get it. Does the area offer adequate means for companionship here?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and it depends on what you call companionship. Whether you want what they call a short time or long time.
Well, you do have options here in Thailand.
Look, it's an app here you can meet people time friendly on, but some time you get the genuine one really wants a boyfriend.
How about your social circle? Do you find it's easy enough to make friends here, meet people?
Yes, I do. A lot of times I walk past a swimming pool, not so much now, people have changed. And people would say, how you going, Gary? You want to have a chat before you go out? Yeah, I'll sit down, 15 minutes, have a nice chat with them. Or if I've been a few, like yourself, a few friends that you can go out and have a bit of a drink and have a bit of a laugh. And that's quite enjoyable, and especially when you have good friends,
Right, sure. Have you
before COVID? We used to go down to Retox Bar on a Saturday or Sunday, and they have the Australian football, and a lot of expats got in there, and you got to know them, and it was a little bit funny. Some of the comments blokes come out with, they're really funny, and that was quite enjoyable down there. I got to meet.
Do you cook?
Yeah, basic cooking. Like usually, if I cook, it's usually I might make a pasta sauce up, or then I'll just do vegetables and a steak. Basic.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if you had to say that, do you cook more or do you go out to eat more?
Go out to eat more. Much more.
Much more?
Yeah.
Like going out to eat 90% of the time and 10% eating in?
Exactly.
Okay. That's fair enough. Do you have any favorite restaurants or anything like that?
Oh, well, last night I went up to Grottino. I liked it there, and I had, what did I eat there?
Do you eat Thai food?
Yeah, I do, but not spicy, Tom.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't eat spicy.
Okay.
One of my favorites is chicken and coconut soup. I really like that.
Right. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Do you find Thai food to be reasonably priced, or?
Oh, cheap. Yeah.
Very cheap. Yeah.
I go up on the corner up there on Soy 27 sometimes, and opposite 7-Eleven there, that Thai restaurant. Yeah. That food's in there, not bad.
We call it the no name restaurant.
I don't even know the name. Yeah, but
that's what they call it. No name. Yeah. Vegemite or butter?
Oh, maybe probably butter. I'm not, even though I'm an Aussie, I'm not really a veggie. Sometimes I might have it, might be once every 2 years, a spread on a bit of toast.
Right.
But that's enough for me then, just only because I felt like it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What does your typical day look like?
Casual.
Casual. Okay.
They just wake up and
What time do you normally wake up?
usually 8:30 or something like that.
8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and you just play on my phone and ring
right.
a couple of people. Or at that time, if I got a mate in Australia, it's not a bad time to get them, you know.
Sure, sure.
And then just I might watch a movie and then decide to have a shower or shave in a shower, and
Right.
then I might go just up the street and coffee shop or something to eat.
Sure.
And then later on, I'd go out in the evening. Or
Do you find it easy to do things here?
most things, yeah. Look, for entertainment and everything like that, it's so easy.
Yeah.
The only thing is the communication, sometimes trying to work out how to do
Right.
something and just for them to understand you understand them. And everything gets done so slowly, you know, like, when you ask someone to, and they talk in Thai, and you think, oh, Jesus Christ, I would have had that worked out in a simple question in a couple of seconds. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But then again,
I really do. Do you have any hobbies?
No, not anymore. No. I used to, in Australia, I had a friend make lead light windows like in church and stuff.
Sure.
I got quite good at that. And then I used to help him because I went there for 17 years after work and stuff. I used to help him with his classes and just basically stuff. And that was I've ever made is for a couple of friends for their front doors and stuff. My house at home, the 2 windows there I've got there, and the house that I had, the nice house I had when I divorced, and I made the bathroom windows there, and they come out really nice. But because I had I played football for 17 years, and
you played?
Yeah, I played football for 17. Yeah. I think I finished when I was 30. I think I stopped playing.
Is this like rugby?
No, Australian rule football.
Okay. Do you like going out to the bars, nightclubs, any place that plays music?
Yes, I like the music. I love live bands.
Right.
That goes back to when I think I told you it was the first concert I ever went, 1965 in the Rolling Stones. I went from school.
1965 Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I went to a matinee.
Yeah.
And here, that's Monday night. It's called Jam Night. When everyone can go. It's a lot of musos go there, and they if you can play an instrument and sing, you're allowed to get up and have your turn. And some of the guys you can tell the older guys in their 60s. You can tell them in their younger days they've played in bands and stuff like that.
Right.
You know,
change something here, and it was in your power to change something. What would it be?
All the paperwork when you try to get make life easier than all the paperwork or something that you go through.
So you have a pretty good routine.
Easy.
You're easy. That's what I mean. You're laid back.
Nothing stressful, Tom.
Right.
Because I just look at I'm on the downhill slide of my life. I know that. You know, it's no coming back to anything better than this.
We're in our retirement years.
Yeah, there's nothing coming anything better than this.
Right. You talked about family and that type of stuff. So you talk to them quite a bit?
Look, my younger sister, she drives me crazy. She really, but my brother, I get on well with him pretty good, and his 2 daughters.
Okay.
And then I've got a couple of good friends. I still communicate. They're still working. I still communicate with them. We have a bit of a chat.
Does any of your friends or family ever consider coming over and visiting?
Oh no, my brother's wife wouldn't come here. She's one of those clean skins that likes to go to Hawaii and Queensland and all the nice places. And my brother would like it, but she wouldn't walk up the street. There's nothing wrong with her. She's got a sense of humour, but as you get older, like they get older, everyone sort of, you don't hear from them much. But my brother, maybe speak with him twice a week on the phone for a bit and talk about different things.
And again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Trying to build this channel. Hit the like button. And if you see anything I can do better, please leave that in the comments below. or if you have additional questions that we're not answering or throwing out there, let us know that in the questions as well. So, what do you think one of the best decisions you ever made in your life?
Well, the main two probably was to buy a house in Australia, because I bought them. Well, I've had two houses, got divorced, and bought them when the price was down, and then they've escalated. I'm talking about up another $1 million, you know. That and probably making the decision now to live where I'm the most happiest in my life now, you know.
Meat or tofu?
Meat.
Okay.
I don't like tofu.
No,
not a fan.
Not a fan.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah. Me too. You know, so
I'm definitely a steak man.
Right.
A red meat steak man.
Like my steak.
Yeah, me too.
You know. What other countries have you visited?
Well, first trip overseas, I landed in Germany. I met my mate because he was in England, come across, he brought the camper out. You wouldn't believe it, my first trip, I didn't realise the Munich Beer Festival's on.
Oh, okay.
10 days of it. Oh, that was magnificent.
Yeah.
From there, we had the camper van. We went from Germany, we went to Austria, up to Belgium, across down to around the top of Italy, down Yugoslavia, down to Greece, then across to Italy again, right down the bottom. We went down only for a week in Africa, Casablanca and everything, come back up through Portugal, Spain, France, all those.
Yeah, very good.
I was quite a Luxembourg over there. There was quite a few countries we went, and that was. And then we had the van. We stayed about 2 months in London and sold the van, and we that was incredible, because in Australia at that time, I used to like music. In Australia, you only used to get two groups a year. Every 6 months, two groups would come together. Like the first two groups, I had seen the Rolling Stones and Roy Orbison. I never used to like Roy Orbison until later on in the later, and then I appreciated how good he was. The same as Elvis. I didn't like him at first until I appreciated how good the guy was.
Right, sure.
And then when we went over to we used to go to a pub and had to pay an extra $1 for an extra hour in the pub, to listen to music, and the band there wasn't that good. But when I went over there, we went down to the local pub, and because they were right into music over there, the bands and stuff in England was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it, how good it was over there.
Right. What makes you happy?
Not feeling stressed.
Stress-free life.
Yeah, and everything easy for me. That's what makes me happy. If I go out and I want to get with a friend, have a meal and sit down with good company, have a few drinks after, have a bit of a laugh. Sometimes you can go to a bar and you can have a real laugh. It's really funny.
Sure. So what's next in your life?
I think this is the end of the journey.
There's no next.
I think it's just live out this, because, it's nothing I need to accomplish. I don't have to go out and not change the dream with work and everything like that. I'm retired. Just what I'm doing now is probably enough for me. Let's face it, your age, you're not going to live forever.
Right. Yeah. Is there anything you want to add to this, to your story?
No.
Anything extra you want to say?
No, not really. I've found this quite enjoyable, your company here today, as usual.
Right. I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah.
So one last question.
Yeah.
Lobster or crayfish?
Oh, geez. I don't know the difference that much of the time. In Australia, we mainly have crayfish.
Right.
And not so much lobster. Over here, I don't think, do they have crayfish over here? Or just
I've never seen crayfish.
No lobster over here. But I like it, but it's a bit pricey. This going.
Well, I want to thank you.
Oh,
thank you for coming and
I hope I haven't been too boring for all your listeners.
I think overall, Gary has done a good job, and we've learned a lot and lots of good advice.
Yeah.
So,
and in front of all your listeners here, I'd like to thank you for being a good friend for me, because you have looked after me, picked me up, and you have been a good friend to Tom. And
I appreciate your friendship.
Yeah, yeah.
So.